I have been trying to set boundaries for people in my life 2 years ago and to explain to them that some of the things that I say are non-negotiables should be respected. But you know what? All of them freaked out. They were like, yeah, what are you talking about? Do you want us to get out of your life? Do you want to control us? So if that's you and you're trying to set non-negotiables for people in your life, but you find it so hard and complicated to just tell people that you don't want to be bothered while you're watching your series or your movie, or while you are just, practicing your daily morning routine, then you've come to the right place. I am going to show you exactly how you can tell people around you that you have specific boundaries that they should not cross, and that these are limits and non-negotiables. But how to tell them that can be a challenging part. So why don't you stay until the end of the video to learn how to do that. Hi there, I'm Alice. I'm a life and an NLP practitioner, coach versus NLP practitioner. I forgot the coach part. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I always do that. So weird. Yeah. So before we dive deep into the video, I'm gonna invite you to subscribe, like, and follow us for more tips about life coaching, about making life easier for you. And also, I'd like to invite you to a very special event that is going to happen this month. It's gonna be on the 17th of May, and I will be teaching you how you can go from feeling stuck, not knowing what to do with your life, and feeling unempowered, just uninspired, hating yourself, feeling unconfident about yourself, and not worthy, to go into that part of your life where you will be rocking your own world. You will be living your best life. So if you want to learn how to get to understand your modern life and tap into your inner power while being yourself, just hit the link down below in the description and let us meet on this great event, and I will be more than glad to teach you the secrets that made me the person that you're looking at today. So let's dive deep into today's video. So the first thing that I'd like you to do is to understand what is a non-negotiable and what is a boundary. So boundaries are simply things, or let's say rules, that you're not willing to compromise on. So no matter what happens, you'll never accept to compromise on those things. So these can be like your values, your beliefs, or simply your priorities. So this is what we call non-negotiables and boundaries. And also boundaries can be said to be limits that you're putting to people around you, and to protect simply your time, your energy, and your mental and emotional well-being. So
how can you tell people that you have specific boundaries and that you don't want them to cross them? So
step number one is to simply identify your values and priorities. So the number one thing that we usually don't do is we go and start talking to people about things we don't like while we don't even know what are our boundaries. What don't we want more of in our lives? Maybe this could be people insulting you, people talking to you in a very negative way, like meeting some friends and they'll be all the time talking about their problems and never listen to your problems. So you need to figure out, ask yourself this question: what is the most important things in my life? What are the core beliefs that I'm holding about me and my life? So I'd like you to write down these, and from there you can go and understand what are your priorities and your values. So the step number two is to simply determine where you need to set boundaries. So we don't have to set boundaries everywhere. So if you have a very healthy workspace, you don't need to go out to your workspace and start talking to your colleagues and telling them, yeah, you know what, don't bother me. Or like maybe you have a very healthy relationship with your partner or maybe friends. You don't need to go there and tell them, you know what, I don't want more of this, I don't want more of that. You just have to determine where you need to set boundaries. Maybe in your work, there are some people that come and put their nose everywhere, like they don't even let you breathe. right? So these people can be simply people that you need to explain to why they should respect your boundaries. Then the number 3 step is to communicate your boundaries assertively and with confidence as well as clarity. Why is this step so important? Because if you think that people are gonna grasp and understand that some of the things are boundaries, then excuse me, people won't. People love crossing boundaries. That's the number one thing I'd like you to understand. People are never going to say, oh, Alice doesn't like me calling her while she is eating. And you know what happened? Now people know that Alice doesn't love being bothered while she is eating. And that's perfect. Even my own mom, she never calls me when I'm eating. Whenever I tell my mom that I'm gonna eat, she'd be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's just talk later. Like, no more words, you know? And this reminds me of the first step, which is sticking to your boundaries. And in here, I'm going to tell you a story about my friend who is called Kareem. So Kareem lives in Lyon in France. And one day he had a party with all his friends and they were gonna have a lot of fun and just enjoy their night. And you know what happened? He promised to one of his friends that he would pick him up and they would meet in a cafe so that he could pick him up and they go together to the party because it's gonna be late and everything. So what happened is that Kareem got to that spot at 7 p.m. as it was, set. But his friend, he called him, he said, where are you? Kareem called his friend and his friend said, oh, I'm not there yet because you said it was gonna be at 7:30. And it was like, oh, really? Like, are you kidding me? Or are you just trying to fool me or think that I'm some sort of a fool? And you know what? Kareem took his car, drove to the party, and his friend was calling him. He didn't even pick up. And you know what Kareem did in here? He stuck to his own boundaries. And even if his friend late that night was so pissed at him and felt like he abandoned him and everything, Kareem didn't even react. You know why? Because he made him understand that there is a boundary that he should not be crossing. And if he crosses that boundary, he's the one who gets lost. He's the one who loses something, and Kareem never loses something. So that's just to tell you guys that whenever you have boundaries, stick to them, my friend. Don't make people change your own boundaries. And then the step number 5, which is the last one, it's to reevaluate, from time to time your non-negotiables and boundaries. As we grow, sometimes our values and priorities get to change with us growing up. So it could be great that you check up on those from time to time and understand if this is exactly the same things that you are willing to still keep in your life as boundaries, or you're willing to shift that. Because as you grow, you change. But to conclude all of that, I just say that boundaries and non-negotiables are a very important aspect in life so that you could protect your emotional and mental well-being. And as well as energies, because if you don't get to protect your energies, no one will protect them for you. So I'd like you to think about this, to just understand what are your priorities then. Talk about those priorities, determine what is important in your life and what are your values, and then communicate them to people around you. Make them understand that these are your values and boundaries and non-negotiables, and they should not cross those boundaries. But remember to stick to them no matter what happens, no matter if people are gonna get pissed or not. The most important thing is that you communicated that beforehand, and they are grown-ups and not kids. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below about what boundaries do you want to include in your life, what are your most important priorities and values. I really like to know. Come on Instagram, let's chat in there, of course, if you'd like to. It's Alice Positive Vibes. And also join us on the Positive Vibes Only podcast. It's called like this, Positive Vibes Only. It's not like Positive Only podcast. There are a lot of podcasts out there. And Yeah, so I'd like to hear from you. If ever you want to chat more about this, hop onto my Instagram account. And obviously, check out my offers just down below in the description. So if ever you're willing to start your self-growth journey, I'll be more than happy to start working with you and to help you becoming that best version of yourself. And I have very personalized program to each person who wants to join my programs. Thank you so much, my loves, and I hope this video was helpful. So let's meet in the next video. Bye!